Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another video of Be the Best DFS Daily Fantasy Sports Talk. Today is Tuesday, August 30th, 2016, and I will be going over my FanDuel lineup strategy for tonight's main slate. It's about 11:30 in the morning here where I'm at in Decatur, Georgia, and just to give a recap on last night results, last night was a bad night for me. It was horrible. My cash lineup put up 85 points, and my tournament lineup put up 107 points. Uh, the main thing, Boyd, he only had 15 fantasy points. Not sure what happened. For some reason, he only pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 earned runs. But that was the start of my troubles, and then it just wasn't enough offense for me. The only good play I had was Josh Donaldson. Surprisingly, the Dodgers, they only scored 1 run at Coors Field. It was just a very, very bad night, and it can be discouraging to me sometimes because baseball, it takes so much work to put together these lineups, and when you have bad scores like that, it can be very discouraging. But at the same time, this is daily fantasy, so what happened on last night has no impact on the lineup I create tonight because it's a fresh start. I start off on a clean slate just like everyone else. So, again, the losses teach lessons, count the wins as blessings. And, today is a new day, a new opportunity to be great, and a new opportunity to be the best. So I'm going to get started on this slate for today. I'm not doing cash games today. I have to work the Braves game this afternoon. So I'm just going to do a tournament type lineup. Um, with it being a full slate of 15 games, I feel the cash games are kind of difficult because there's so many options. So it's hard to figure out who's the safest play because there's so many. So I'm just going to just try to make a contrarian type tournament lineup, and hopefully it pays off. So for tournaments and GPPs for tonight, my favorite play at the pitcher position is going to be Kyle Hendricks of the Chicago Cubs for 9,300. They're playing at home versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's at a decent price. If you read his information when you click on his name, they said he got the best ERA of the season, a 2.19 ERA over 24 starts in 152 innings. If you look at his game log, his last game against San Diego, 48 fantasy points. The game before that, August 19th, it was at Coors Field, a bad game, 24 fantasy points. But the 3 previous games before that, August 13th, 51 fantasy points. August 7th, 43 fantasy points. And August 1st, 54 fantasy points. So, he's typically is a good pitcher at home. Of course, he's not the best pitcher on the slate, but when I do price consideration and I just kind of look at his game log, he's someone I'm going to take a chance on. Tournaments, it's about taking chances, trying to get to the top. Different strategy than cash games. So I'm not necessarily playing it safe, but I really do like Kyle Hendricks, tonight for tournaments and GPPs. Other pitchers to consider. You have Matt Scherzer at the highest price tag of 11,200. He had a great game his last game on August 25th, 66 fantasy points. But when I look at his last couple of road games, August 20th at Atlanta, 37 fantasy points. And August 15th at Colorado, 9 fantasy points. That causes reason for concern to me. Now, it's a National League game. Philadelphia isn't a really good team, so Scherzer, he could have a great game. Honestly, I'm not really sure, but that price tag, I just don't want to pay that much on a full slate. But if you have the skill, like I always say, if you have the skill to find those value plays when paying up for pitcher, Scherzer, he could be in line for a good game. Cueto, he just hasn't been good lately. You look at his game log, the last time he had a 40-point fantasy performance was August 3rd. So he's been kind of struggling, but AT&T is a pitcher's park. Arizona is a mediocre team, so you could use him for 10,300. Cole Hamels, I really, really like. If I was playing cash games, he might be the player that I use, because he's been on the tear lately. His last two games, 60 fantasy points. So playing against Seattle at home, the Rangers they fighting for a playoff spot. So I definitely could see possibly Cole Hamels, but again, the price tag is too high. I have no interest in Zach Greinke. Tanaka, I think he could be an interesting tournament play. He's been pretty good for 9,400. Last 4 games, he's had at least 45 fantasy points. But I was looking at Roto Grinders yesterday, and the guys on the show, they were saying that Kansas City at home, they're a tough team. They don't strike out and they play better at home. So I'm not sure if I would use Tanaka, but if you just look at his game log, last 4 games, at least 45 fantasy points. Kauffman Stadium, I believe, is a pitcher's ballpark, so Tanaka could possibly be in play. And I kind of think about Julio Teheran. He definitely has the talent at 7,800. The Padres are a weak team, so I think he'll be the ultra contrarian type GPP tournament play. Maybe when I look at it some more, I might convince myself to use Julio Teheran, especially considering the fact that I'm going to be at the Braves game tonight working the game, so that could be fun to watch. And just looking, I'm not interested in J.A. Happ, not against that Baltimore offense in their ballpark. Maybe Pomeranz, maybe. I really don't like playing him. And that's about all I see at pitcher. Again, for GPPs and tournaments, I like Kyle Hendricks for the Chicago Cubs. You definitely could use the Matt Scherzer if you have the skill to find those value plays. I think Tanaka is interesting. And this is just me as a Braves fan. I kind of have a little small interest in Julio Teheran. I just don't know if the Braves going to give him that run support or not. All right, moving on to the rest of the lineup. At catcher for GPPs, I like Sandy Leon for the Boston Red Sox. He's a switch hitter, so you always get the lefty versus righty matchup. But the main thing, I like his price tag of 2,500. I think that's just I think he's underpriced, and with the potential that he has, I think he's great for GPPs and tournaments. He'll probably go overlooked, but I definitely like Sandy Leon for 2,500. It goes without saying, Gary Sanchez, definitely consider him. Wilson Ramos at Citizens Bank Park, a good park for right-handed power. I guess Evan Gattis is always in play at home because of his home run upside. Yasmani Grandal, Coors Field effect, you can consider him. Russell Martin at Baltimore, good ballpark for home runs, so he could be an option for GPP. And maybe, Jonathan Lucroy, lefty versus righty matchup going against Paxton for Seattle at home in Texas. He's definitely in play. I think he's a great tournament option also. I'm not going to just go through the whole list because, like I said, it's a full slate and don't want to make the video too long. But for now, I like Sandy Leon for the Boston Red Sox. First base, tournaments and GPPs. The lineup I have right now, I got Marwin Gonzalez for the Houston Astros for 2,900. Lefty versus righty matchup. He has 1 career home run against Graveman, the pitcher for the Athletics. I believe the sample size is 11 at bats, and he's batting .364. So just a player that I know will be on that low percentage. I like him for GPPs. But to talk about other first basemen, definitely Big Papi Ortiz at home in the lefty versus righty matchup at Fenway. So definitely him. I I wouldn't go with Goldsmith against Cueto. I don't think that's a good matchup for him. Anthony Rizzo, lefty versus righty matchup at home. You know, all the guys at the top, definitely consider them. A BVP statistic play, Freddie Freeman for 3,900. He's batting .412 with 2 career home runs versus Edwin Jackson of the San Diego Padres. So definitely, everyone know Freeman. You know, he can get off sometimes and get on a little streak. So with with that history versus the pitcher, he could possibly be in play. Let me see. Again, it's a full slate, so there's so many options. Just going through some of them. For right now, I'm paying down that pitcher, and I got Marwin Gonzalez. Moving on to second base, my favorite play for GPPs and tournaments is going to be Matt Carpenter for 4,300 of the St. Louis Cardinals. The main reason I like him is the BVP statistics. I'm going to read these for you, the exact statistics. Hold on. Find that game. All right. Matt Carpenter versus Peralta. Let's see. In 38 at-bats, he's batting .474 with 3 career home runs and 7 RBIs. Miller Park, good park for hitting. You know, good home run ballpark. 3 home runs, .474, 38 at-bats. Lefty versus righty matchup. I like Carpenter for GPPs and tournaments. High price tag, but, you know, I really like him tonight. Other second basemen, you know, always consider the top guys. Altuve at home. Definitely Daniel Murphy. Just looking through the player pool. Maybe Kipnis at home, but I really didn't analyze this position much. I was kind of stuck on Matt Carpenter, so that's who I really like at second base for tournaments and GPPs. Moving on to the next position, third base. I wanted to get some Coors Field exposure, so I believe Nolan Arenado, he's a great play. Lefty versus righty matchup for 4,300 at Coors Field. He's a good play, but for now, I went on the other side. I got Justin Turner for the Dodgers. He's batting .667 and 3 at-bats versus Anderson with 1 career home run. Lefty versus righty matchup. I know Justin Turner, he has a 3 home run game earlier this season. And with that Coors Field effect for 4,000, I like him as a tournament play. Other players who could be good tournament plays, like I said, Arenado, Chris Bryant, and Donaldson. Donaldson, he has 1 career home run against Jimenez. Machado, because of the ballpark they playing at. I think Jake Lamb has some good BVP statistics versus Cueto. His price tag is below 3,000. Lamb, he's a good player. He's just been going through his struggles recently, but he'll be an excellent tournament play because I don't think too many people will be on him. But price below 3,000. He got 25 home runs on the season. Lefty versus righty matchup. The wind blows out at AT&T Park, so if you got the guts to do it, definitely Jake Lamb. Another BVP statistic guy. This is versus Julio Teheran. Solarte, Yangervis Solarte for the San Diego Padres. He's a switch hitter, but in 9 at bats versus Julio, he's batting .556 with 1 home run. So, you know, Julio Teheran, he struggles against left-handed bats sometimes. So definitely, he'll be an excellent GPP tournament play as well. I'm gonna move on to the next position, shortstop. This was a salary decision. I like Brandon Crawford for 2,800. Let's look at his game log. Last 2 games, he surpassed 20 fantasy points. Lefty versus righty matchup against Zach Greinke. I believe he has 1 career home run against Greinke, and just an excellent price tag. You know, Crawford, he's a decent shortstop, and he's constantly under 3,000. You know, his salary is under 3,000. I think he should be at least 3,000. And at that price tag, I think he's good for GPPs and tournaments. Other shortstops, of course, the Astros, but I can never get them right. Carlos Correa, you can consider him. Lindor, Francisco Lindor, switch hitter, going up against a pitcher in Minnesota who's having his first start of the year, so he could struggle. If you're into stacking, maybe a Cleveland stack. It's a left-handed pitcher. I think his name is Albiers, and it's his first start of the year. So definitely, if you want to stack, Cleveland could be a viable option. And Didi Gregorius, I think he has some good BVP statistics against what's the pitcher name? Edison Volquez. So you can consider him also. But, for me, I like Brandon Crawford. It's the late game, so a lot of people don't pay attention to those players. He's at home. He's had 2 back-to-back games with over 20 fantasy points. So I like him for GPPs and tournaments. And then moving on to the outfield position, I got Mark Trumbo, or like they call him, Trumbum. Lefty versus righty matchup against J.A. Happ. Trumbo, he's got 2 homers in his last 3 games. He's typically a streaky player. He went hitless on yesterday, but I just like the home run upside, and I know he has the 2 home run potential. J.A. Happ is a good pitcher, but when I consider the ballpark, Camden Yards being a good hitter's park, lefty versus righty matchup, decent price tag of $3,500, large slate, so a lot of players are good tournament plays with a full slate. So, I like Trumbo tonight. Hopefully he can get a home run, make it 3 out of his last 4 games. And based on the salary, these are 2 players I just stuck in for my lineup right now. Again, it's like 1140 here where I'm at, so a lot of these players going to be adjusted. I got Steven Souza Jr. For the Tampa Bay Rays going up against the Boston Red Sox and Pomeranz. Now, what I liked about Souza Jr. is a lefty versus righty matchup. The last game he played on Sunday, August 28th, he went 0 for 5. 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts, and then they sat him out yesterday. So just being a competitor, he should feel some type of way about that. He went 0 for 5 on Sunday, and they sat him on the bench yesterday. So I'm hoping he want to bounce back and, try to redeem himself and have a good game. Like I'm trying to bounce back from, having, a bad lineup on yesterday. Hopefully he try to bounce back. But like I said, lefty versus righty matchup, 13 home runs on the season. Believe Fenway Park is supposed to be favorable to right-handed power. Pomeranz is a good pitcher, but this is tournaments and GPPs, so I'm taking a chance with Souza Jr. And then the last player I have in my lineup as it's constructed right now, I have Brock Holt for the Boston Red Sox. My reasoning for picking him, lefty versus righty matchup. He had 19 fantasy points on yesterday. When you read his information, when you click on his name, it talks about how Dustin Pedroia, he's away for a family matter. So maybe Brock Holt, he gets some more playing time today. Players who don't get playing time on a regular basis, they want to come out there and try to prove themselves or, make a statement, and show that, they belong in the lineup. So, Brock Holt, I like him tonight for, my last outfield position. So just to recap everything, I'm going to pass on the cash games tonight. Kind of had some struggles. I'm just going to take a long shot and do a tournament. I like Kyle Hendricks as a tournament play, but I definitely can understand if you pay for a higher price option. I'm also thinking about doing Julio Teheran. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know if the Braves will give him enough run support for the win, so I may just stay at Hendricks. And then for my lineup, I don't have any stacks. I love Sandy Leon for the Boston Red Sox. I love Matt Carpenter for the St. Louis Cardinals. I love Justin Turner, and I also like Nolan Arenado at third base. I think both of them have a good game. I went with Turner because he lower priced. I like Crawford because of his price mainly. Trumbo, we all know about his home run potential, so I think he's a great tournament play. And then the other plays I mentioned, they're just value plays. They're not really people that I say you should put in your lineup, but they just fit with my lineup based on the salary limitations that I had. But again, Hendricks, Turner and Carpenter and Trumbo, I like those main players for my tournaments tonight. So I'm gonna close the video out right here. That's my strategy. Again, thank you for everyone who's taking the time out to view this video today. Thank you to all the people who subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks for everyone who's joined on the Facebook group, #BeTheBestDFS. Thanks to everyone who's following the Twitter account @BeTheBestDFS. And thank you to everyone who's following the Instagram page @BeTheBestDFS. It's been a tough past few days, but in this daily fantasy, you have to put yesterday or last night behind you and move forward and just focus on the current day and trying to make the best lineup you can for the current day. I want to shout out to my friend in the group, Kenyon Dukes, because I was feeling discouraged, but he just kind of told me, it's a new day, a clean slate, a fresh start, and it makes a lot of sense. Baseball is tough. Out of the three sports, this is probably the one that I'm worst at. I'm probably best at basketball, then football, then baseball. But I can't dwell on what happened last night. Today should be a good day. Just gonna hopefully the lineup does well, and I can win some money. And I hope y'all find this video helpful today, and hopefully y'all can win some money. If you have any questions or comments, just comment on the YouTube video or try to holler at me on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. I'll definitely try my best to respond and just offer you my thoughts and how I feel about certain things on the slate tonight. But that's about it. Good luck to everyone tonight. Hope y'all win some money, and like always, try to be the best tonight. All right, I'm out.